Hello everyone. Welcome to Keerthi's FinFo NRI community. I'm CS Keerthina. I live in Dubai and I run the consultancy firm specialized in NRI services. I've done my CS from India and I'm also CMA strategic level from UK. I am an overseas SEBI registered MFT. Every week I try to bring you a complex NRI finance topic and I try to explain them in the language that you understand. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe my channel right now. Today's topic, it may look simple, but it can make significant difference to the money transactions, especially when you are an NRI. Today, we are going to discuss about the difference between the bank transactions, the mode of transactions which are popularly known as NEFT, RTGS, and IMPS. We are going to discuss each and every type of transactions in detail. At the end, we are going to check what type of transaction is best for NRIs. So stay tuned till the end. When you are doing bank transactions, what do you do? Log into the net banking, select beneficiary, enter bank IFSC code, account number, and send. While sending money, which option do you choose? Wait, did you notice those three options? Do you actually know what are the difference between these three categories or modes of transaction? If you don't, please watch this video fully. It looks simple, but as an RI, if we know when and for which purpose we should use these options while transferring the fund or while doing this online banking transactions, it's going to be really helpful. If you think this kind of videos are helpful for NRIs, please share it in your friend circle and like this video so it will reach to more and more people. So now in this video, let's see what are the three modes of transfer in internet banking for Indians. Second, how and when to use these bank transactions. First, let's start with National Electronics Fund Transfer, which is popularly known as NEFT. NEFT system, this technology was adopted by banks in India using which customers like I and you can send money easily from or to any bank account. Let's take this example. Imagine I have an account with HDFC Bank and I need to transfer the amount to somebody holding ICICI Bank account. Using NEFT, I can easily do this. This facility is managed by RBI and in 2005, most of the banks in India, they have adopted this technology. Generally, RBI imposes no limit on the fund transfer. However, RBI allows the bank to have a limit if at all the board perceives risk in transaction execution. That means it is for the board to review up to what limit they can comfortably, conveniently, without any headache, handle the execution of the transaction. So accordingly, board can decide the upper limit. But RBI doesn't specify any such limit. So let's understand NEFT in detail. NEFT transaction is available round the clock, but the settlement happens in batches on every half an hour basis. Does this mean that payment can happen whenever your bank wants? No. RBI clearly says within 2 hours of batch settlement time, beneficiary account has to be credited. If at all it is not done and the bank fails to do so, then bank is liable to pay the penal interest or penalty. How much penalty you can expect then? For that, you need to look at different slabs. RBI has specified the slab even for these charges. It varies from 2.5 rupees and it can go up to 25 rupees for the amount which starts from 10,000 rupees to 2 lakhs. So, amount which is involved in the transaction is determining the penalty. Now, moving next, you can do NEFT in three ways: online, using internet banking; mobile banking; third, by visiting the branch. So for NRIs, it is implied that you have only first two options, right? Either it is mobile or internet banking. Remember, in NEFT, this itself is the most convenient feature. There is no minimum value or maximum amount which is capped. NEFT transfer is regulated by RBI, monitored by RBI, which makes the transfer very reliable. The timing, charges applicable, amount, all will be decided by the banks. It may differ from bank to bank. If you have any specific questions related to XYZ bank, then just contact the bank manager. They will be able to give the specific answer. Just as an example, I have taken ICICI here. ICICI allows 1 to 10 lakhs or even up to 1 crore as per the specific customer segmentation that they have made for NEFT transfer. Now, this happens within the limit of 1 to 19 hours. This is applicable for NRIs as well. Transaction charges for the NEFT initiated online is nil. But if you go to the bank branch physically and do the transaction, then you may have to pay small amount. It usually starts with 2.25 rupees and go up to 24 rupees 75 paisa plus GST or tax as per the amount involved. Now, you may have some other questions also in your mind. When can I send money using NEFT? Does it work 24 hours? The answer is yes and no. Let me explain you this with an example. Though you can execute the NEFT transfer at any time, you will have to also understand other part of it. See, in HDFC Bank, NEFT transaction is allowed from morning 7 to evening 7. That means it is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But this facility is available for 24 into 7 for all 365 days. You can execute the transaction on all RBI working days with a maximum limit of 50 lakhs. But if you are executing such transactions on holidays, then you can send only up to 2 lakhs per beneficiary. But you can initiate the fund transfer. I hope this part is clear. For newly added beneficiary, only up to rupees 50,000 is allowed within first 24 hours by most of the bank. This is for our own security. You may add up to 7 beneficiaries within 24 hours, and you can also start using the NEFT. Now, you can use this NEFT also to pay the recurring bills such as credit card bills, etc. One point that you have to clearly remember here is the timing of NEFT. It can change from bank to bank. See, as discussed earlier, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is the timing which is kept by HDFC Bank. But for ICICI, it is not followed. The timing is from morning 8 o'clock till 6:30 p.m. That is Monday to Saturday. Remember, Sunday or any banking holidays where NEFT may not be processed. So in ICICI, it is not possible during the holidays or beyond working hours, which might slow down the payment little bit. Now look at this table. This is about the transaction fees levied by ICICI in case of offline transaction. And you may also observe that the fees levied by ICICI is comparatively lower. So the basic concept here which you have to understand is NEFT is monitored and regulated by RBI, and the settlement is happening not on instant but in batches. So all NRIs who are watching this video, please note the timing, amount, fees. All three are determined by the bank in which you are holding account. And you should check and tailor the timing, amount and the speed at which you want to transfer the fund accordingly. And you can use NEFT and execute multiple transfer as long as the amount is within which the bank is allowing you to execute. One more important thing here you need to remember is the timing. Mentioned is IST, Indian Standard Time. As NRIs, we may be living in different time zones. So when you live in different countries, right? So when you are executing such NEFT transactions, please keep Indian time zone in mind and then transfer the fund. Now let's go to the second type of banking transaction, which is real-time gross payment. That's our RTGS. Real time, as the name itself is suggesting, execution is happening in real time. This means when the instruction of the transfer is received, the fund transfer is happening. The fund settlement is also happening individually. It's not done in batches. Means every working day, RTGS transaction is happening on continuous basis on transaction by transaction. If you want to do RTGS transaction, the minimum amount required is 2 lakhs. Remember, it is 2 lakhs. And please note here, RBI specifies no upper cap. The transaction charges are usually between 25 to 50 rupees. This is cap. Under normal circumstances, within 30 minutes, the amount should be credited when you do RTGS. Otherwise, RBI is there protecting our right? Jokes apart. RBI has specified the penalty if the bank has failed to execute within 30 minutes. That is at the rate of current repo rate plus 2%. Now, this facility is offered by many banks and managed by RBI. This RTGS also very simple to use, where one can transfer from your office, home or anywhere in seamless manner. You don't have to go to bank like earlier you used to take the trouble, headache of executing, taking DD, etc. With this facility, beneficiary bank receives the fund within maximum of 30 minutes. Like I mentioned already, starting amount is 2 lakhs or 200,000 rupees. And if it is very high value or the amount is really high, then the execution may be done on instruction or in batches. If I have to give an example about the charges of RTGS, then in HDFC, if it is done online, absolutely it is free of cost. In case if you are going to the bank and executing, then the charges are 25 to 50 rupees plus GST, which is tax applicable. In ICICI, if you are using mobile banking, you can send 2 lakhs to 20 lakhs. In case of internet banking, then you can send up to 1 crore also, depending on the customer segmentation that you are falling into. Now, up to 2 lakhs, RTGS charges are nil, and then you will be charged between 20 to 45 rupees plus GST. That too, if the transfer is initiated in the bank branches. That means RTGS initiated online, free of charges. The purpose here, you have to remember that people use this mode of transaction not for retail purpose, mostly for business or commercial purpose. So if you have to settle any large amount, maybe for tax payment or trade obligations, you can opt for this. NRIs may find this mode very useful while making payment for property purchase or car purchase, etc. The third and the last type of the payment is called IMPS, Immediate Payment Service. Now, the meaning is completely understood in the name itself, right? Immediate payment. The service is executed here instantly, and this is also available for 24 into 7 into 365 days. You know what is an interesting point here? National Payment Corporation of India, or NPCI, which is actually behind our UPI success, had started the same in 2010. You can do IMPS transaction in two ways, either with the IFSC code of the bank and the account number of the beneficiary, or the beneficiary's mobile number, because this itself acts as a mobile money identifier. Remember, the biggest differentiator of IMPS and between other two transactions that I've mentioned is time. Yes, it's time. Here in IMPS, the transfer is instant, immediate. Therefore, if NRIs, you are in any kind of emergencies and you want to send money immediately, use this. IMPS charges again may vary from bank to bank. Usually they are decided by the participating banks and the settlement in real time. In IMPS, you can send from 1 rupee till 2 lakhs instantly. So to summarize NRIs, you really need to think about these four important factors when you are initiating banking transactions. One, settlement time. Second, amount which you want to send. Third, its charges. And finally, the time at which you really want the money to be transferred. NEFT, RTGS or IMPS, they all have their own advantages and disadvantages. You have to tailor it according to your requirement or the goal. But as NRIs, don't forget to think about the Indian time if you're doing NEFT transactions. That's it for today. See you in next video.